Okay, this is Jesse Nesbit. It's Sunday, September 29th. We're in San Francisco, next to the San Francisco Public Library, and Jesse has something very important that he wants to say.
Okay. Well, a lot of people know me from my actions on May Day 2012 when, during a protest, I threw some objects I should not have thrown at the San Francisco Police Department. Since that happened...
They were bricks.
Yeah, they were bricks, pipes, and an empty bottle of wine, to be specific.
Okay.
And a lot of people have been judging me because of what I did and not because of who I am. The mainstream media, specifically the San Francisco Chronicle, what's the other one? The Examiner, I think it is, and Channel 5 have been sitting there trying to make me out to be some drug-addled psychopath that just wants to destroy everything.
And you've seen these videos on these TV stations, and you have read their articles.
Yes. I've read them all. I've read all the comments. Some of the things that people have been saying to them, they kind of hurt, because that's not me. Yes, I will admit I do have problems with chemicals. I have chemical dependency problems, but I'm working on them. And I do have psych issues, but I'm working on them. They're not me. I'm typically calm, peaceful, soft-spoken, and gentle. It's the chemicals and the alcohol that do that. On May Day, I was suffering from a very, very bad case of PTSD. I've been repeatedly beaten by SFPD and Berkeley Police Department. They've given me multiple concussions. When I went up on that roof, all I saw was a police baton hitting one of my comrades in the hand while they were fighting with the barricade, and I lost it. It was complete autonomous blackout. And that's not me. I don't want that to be my place in history, because I'm not an animal, I'm not a monster.
What caused your blackout?
A lot of wine. When we took over a second building, somebody found a couple cases of Sacramento wine, and we wanted to celebrate, so we broke open the wine and everybody started drinking.
So you have alcoholic blackouts?
Yes.
And you were having one that day?
Yes.
And do you remember anything that happened?
I remember bits and pieces of it, not much, because I drank a lot of wine that day, and I don't know, just too much to drink.
When you were up there on the roof, do you remember going up there?
I remember climbing up there atop the air conditioning unit with a brick in each hand, and I said to myself, I'm going to jail. I knew that was going to happen that day.
Okay, and you say you blacked out.
Yeah.
But you do remember going up there and then saying, having with the bricks in your hand,
yeah,
one in each hand, and you said I'm going to jail, and then you blacked out. How did that happen?
I don't quite know. I think it could have been my brain shutting off my consciousness, going from normal into basically would be like a combat mentality, because I do have military training, and one of the things they teach us is to shut down our mind and act automatically. And I saw everybody down on the ground wearing a black uniform as an enemy, and I followed my training, and I was doing my best to treat them as an enemy.
Okay, and then what happened then?
I threw the second one and accidentally hit one of our people with it. And
our people meaning an occupier?
Yes, he was an Occupy cameraman. He was doing what he was supposed to be doing.
He was videoing the event.
Yes.
Yeah. And you were unaware that where that brick was going when you tossed it?
I thought I hit a police officer. And I'm actually glad I didn't, because...
You're glad you did not hit a police officer?
Yes, because when Pirate Mike came up on that roof, I distinctively remembering him telling me that they were lining up to shoot me. And there were snipers on the roof in the building behind me.
Yes. And I believe that the cops down in the street in front of you had weapons as well.
Yes, they did.
And I think there are about 400 of them. I think that was the count. At some point by some entity, there were around 400 cops out there.
I don't know the exact number.
But did it seem to you like a mass of cops?
Yeah. I just saw a sea of them and barricades and like 5 of my comrades.
So the first one, were you aiming for cops?
No, I was just basically, in military terms, I was bracketing my range. I was firing for effect. I was trying not to hit anybody, and it just got everyone to back up to give the people on the ground behind the barricades room and time to think and act.
So that's all you were trying to do. It was just an action to make it move back a bit.
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the second time? Did you have the same intent the second time?
Yeah. The second brick it was my intention to get him to back up, and the individual I hit, he didn't move that's why when I threw him, if you look at the video, I didn't throw him straight out where they would sit there and just nail somebody. I put them in the air to give the people underneath it time to get out of it.
You lofted it, you lobbed it, rather than throwing it directly at a target.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it was more like it would be like a mortar shot instead of a straight artillery.
Okay, now help us with this. I believe that you were in a blackout.
Yeah.
Mike Clift, I talked to him about this, I wrote an article about what happened, and he told me he thought you were in a blackout. I believe him and I believe you, but you do remember these events, these actions during this time. So how can you help us with this, how can you describe this as a blackout?